Two Sheds Gabby, I am back to try and do a video with a box of pennies today. I'm not in my office. I've got a little makeshift dinner table out here in my living room in front of my TV. And we're going to try to go. I'm pretty cramped. I'm going to see what I can do. I've got my pennies in the box over here. Oh, wow. I had a surprise today. My real estate lady, my wife and I are sitting here on the couch. We're really tuckered out. We've been over to the other house trying to put flooring in today and just had several problems. In fact, we had to take all the flooring back. That type of flooring there, this stuff. We were trying to do vinyl because it's supposed to be more moisture proof, and they just weren't connecting right. We've done this house and other places, and they just weren't connecting. So we took them all back, got our money back, and went to Home Depot this time. Got some on sale. You can tell they're not of the best quality, so they're hooking and they're working better. Yay! We'll figure we'll use these for 2 or 3 years. It was a concrete floor in an old. It's a den that used to be a garage, and we didn't put a leveler or anything like that. We probably should have. So we'll use this floor for a few years, and then we'll come back and get a newer, nicer one sometime in the future, and we'll just put it right over top of this layer, and that will be our layer between the concrete and the new floor. Anyway, enough about that for the moment. Oh, the real estate lady came. We talked just yesterday, I think, maybe the day before, and we were going to get the signs put out next Friday. This is Friday that I'm starting this, and it was supposed to be the signs next Friday, and we're sitting here watching TV, and there's somebody in my front yard, and I'm like, and I'd only met the lady once. I'm like, what is she doing? And my wife's like, that's our real estate lady. What? So it's 187 degrees outside. It's pretty warm. That's kind of hot, ain't it? It's 90 something. And it's super humid. It just rained for a minute, about 5 minutes before she came. Humid as can be. And she's out here putting these signs up. She'd gotten new signs. She'd never put them up before. I'm her guinea pig. I'm sitting here trying to help her get them up. It was insane. Plus, she brought the lockbox, and she's like, here, you do it. Here, you do it. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Anyway, you can see the sign is out there. It says coming soon because we're not even officially listed yet. Anyway, enough chit chat before I even start. Let me get into the pennies, and we'll go from there. Well, I did one row. I got 7 copper, and this setup is just not going to work. I just don't have the lighting I need. I usually have that light beaming right down in my head, and I'm gonna find a better place. Y'all remember my desk that was always so messy, except for my little bitty working spot and the big pile of penny boxes over there. It's all gone. I don't have anywhere to work. I'm gonna try to squeeze out a little spot on this desk over here. This is all I've got left. But I'm gonna try to make a little spot right here and get through this penny box. Okay, I've got my little station cleared out now and set up. This is the first row that I've gone through since I just got set up here. But I think this is the 6th row in the box I've gone through, I do believe. After that first row, last night, I was just sitting in the living room there and just opened up a few more in my hand and went through them. And I found a few copper in each one. One of them actually had the 9 that I needed for an average for the 3 pounds. The others were less than that. But this is interesting. Somebody told me once before what this is called. But it's like when there's like too much oil or something on when it's minted. See how funky looking that is, kind of grainy. I think that's what this one is. Somebody, if you see this, tell me what this process is that causes this. It's kind of cool when I've Somebody described it to me once before. I thought it was pretty neat. I'll set that one aside. This roll had 12 copper in it. Hey, the next roll, I actually found something. This is a 2009 memorial. Hey, haven't found any wheat or anything yet. Until now. That's cool. Oh, there's a big gash in it. $19.45. Yeah, so cool. I'll have to check my. Yeah, I believe I've got that. I need to pick up a second one. I've only got one book. I've got 3 Jefferson Nickel books, but I should have 3 of these books. I really ought to get a couple more. That's pretty cool. Wheatie number 1. This is my new phone, and I'm still not used to it, but I kept having that blurry look, and so I went to the little menu and popped it down, and it had video boost off. So I turned on video boost, and it seems to be a lot clearer. Well, a couple rolls later, and we get our first Canadian copper, the 12-sided type, 1983. There's our first Canadian. Very nice. So, we've got a friend coming from West Virginia. He's been here before. He's brought me coins. He'll bring me at least 1 box of pennies and a box of nickels, maybe more. In fact, he's already got a box of pennies for me. You guys have seen him if you watch my videos a time or two. He helped me get the shutters up and other stuff. Well, he's coming to help me move. We've got these huge couches. In fact, I'm going to show them to you. Let me turn off here, and I'm going to run in there and turn on the light. It's 10:20 at night. I'll be right back. Well, I mean, I'm going to take the phone in there and show you. Okay, my wife will probably have a cow when she sees this, but blanket on the floor over there. She came in one day and said, there's a free leather couch around the corner sitting out in the yard. We got to go get it. Like, what? I was pretty happy with what I had. Well, semi. So I went down there and looked at it. I'm like, holy cow, this thing weighs 1,000 pounds. But we did it. The 2 of us put it in the back of our SUV, hanging halfway out. Got it home. Oh, getting it up the porch and in the front door was murder. It was so heavy. It's really cool. It's got plug-ins on the side to charge your phone, and everything's electric. It's still they're totally cool, but oh my goodness, it was so heavy. About a week and a half later, she comes in. She goes, they've got the matching one. We have to get it. It's even longer. It's so big. I'm like, we haven't recovered from the first one yet. We did it, and we're in our 60s, folks, and we're trying to haul these things in, and they are so stinking heavy. Anyway, my friend from West Virginia is going to come and help us move these. Thank you, buddy. Okay, I'm back to, this is the roll that had the Canadian 12-sided in it. Anyway, my friend is bringing me some coins, and usually I have done better with the coins there. Usually, like, there's more wheat pennies and more copper than I usually get here, even though here I'm pretty happy, I'm still getting pretty close to 10 wheat and 3 pounds, but I've gotten over 4 pounds there and a bunch of wheat pennies. One of the boxes of nickels I went through had 4 or 5 silver. I've never gotten that many before, and to get more than 2 silver in a box of nickels is amazing to me. That's 83. I still feel like I'm getting a little bit of that. See it kind of in and out, in and out. I don't like that at all. I hope I can figure that out. I never got that with my other phone. And this one is supposed to be better. I'm not convinced yet. I do feel like when it is clear, it's clearer. But anyway, 65. You see that? I guess y'all are seeing that. It drives me bonkers. It's like when the finger's in, or I don't know. It's annoying. Here's Canadian Copper number 2, 1968. Very nice. Hope I can get a few more Wheaties. I mean, we're still pretty early, but I got my shed moved today. You know, I bought the new one a few weeks ago, and I finally got all the stuff from the shed here. I sell equipment for a company, and so I had a shed purchased, 82. It was a 10 by 16 brought in and sit next to my house, and I sell equipment out of it for this company. I tell you, hoarding copper pennies this week is kind of like hoarding copper in a hurricane. It's just maddening. And so then it came up that we were moving. That was last year, and because we had no idea we were going to be moving. And so there's a 10 by 12 behind our house that came with the house, and it had all of our yard stuff and tools and stuff in it. 82. And so we were going to leave that one here. And so I bought a 10 by 20 and had it moved to the house we're going to be moving into. My cousin owns it, so he was totally cool with it, even though we haven't officially bought it yet. And let me get another roll going. So I bought the 10 by 20 and had it moved over to the other house to replace everything that I have currently in the 10 by 16. I was getting a little bit crowded in the 10 by 16. And so I just finally got all that moved. And so I got it pretty close to empty, just some cardboard boxes and stuff. And the guy came by today and picked it up and took it, the 10 by 16, and we had it moved over next to the 10 by 20. And so the 10 by 16, I'll give it to my wife. I mean, it's going to have all of our tools and different things, but she uses it more than I do. And so she is going from 10 by 12 to 10 by 16, and she's very excited. And there is Wheat Penny number 2, 1958D, the last year of the Wheat Penny. There's 2 Wheaties. There's also over next to, in the house we're buying had a little, I don't know what is it, 5 by 5, 6 by 5 Rubbermaid shed out back. And so we'll probably try to just keep our yard stuff, shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, in that one. If you're familiar with the line Shovels and Rakes and Implements of Destruction, that came from Alice's Restaurant. And I have most of that memorized. I might have to just start quoting it one of these days. 82. There was 2 versions of the Alice's Restaurant Massacre. And I think it was the lesser popular one, maybe, that I liked. They're practically identical, but there's a few minor changes. When you're on stage and you do something, it's a little bit different than it was the time before. But if you see the album, it's got the I'll have to find it. I'll pop this up and show you the album cover. This is the album cover that has the version that I think is the best. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, but I think it's a better version than the other one. Hey, a handful of rolls later, and there is Wheat Penny number 3. What do we got? 1941. Philadelphia. A little bit of wear on that guy. But that's cool. Wheat penny number 3. I'm pretty sure that I have said it before, but when I was there's part I didn't tell. When I was 16, I hitchhiked to Florida. I was living in Kentucky, and where I live, in fact, where I'm moving to next door to that is where I was living when I hitchhiked to Daytona, Florida. I lived about a mile from some apartments, and a family had moved in that had a couple of teenage guys, and I met the younger one, and we became buddies for a while. And I was saying something about going to hitchhike to Florida, and his older brother, I think he was about a year older than me. Hey, here's a Canadian. All right, cool. 72. Neat. Anyway, he said he wanted to go, and I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. He turned out to be not the most pleasant person in the world, but that's okay. It's still a fun trip. But anyway, while I was down there, I'm just sure I saw Greg Allman. It was at this little pub, his long blonde hair, but he was real pale. I mean, I didn't go up and talk to him or nothing. There's a lot of people around, but I'm just about as positive as I can be it was him. But I was surprised how pale he was. Oh, a handful of rolls later, and here is my second 2009 Memorial. Another one there. Both of them that I found tonight are in pretty nice condition. Indeed. I was sitting here thinking, trying to remember on that trip to Daytona, if it was 1976 or 1977. I just don't remember. I turned 16 my birthday's in July. So I don't remember if it was like 77 before I turned 17, or if it was 76, like in August or something, right after I turned 16. I just don't remember. But it was a pretty cool trip hitchhiking down there. Boy, we were in like Macon, Georgia or something like that. I know I've told this before, but we wasn't getting a ride, and this big policeman, he was so angry. He came up and he yelled at us and said he didn't want vagrants in his town and all this stuff. And he said we had to get out of there pronto. And we did figure out a way, but I'm not going to go into all that. But he was a mean dude. Up 82. That would miss my jar. What's that? That's copper. Look at this, folks. I hope the lighting picks this up. This penny is purple. I don't know if it's just toning or if something else has happened to it, but that's quite cool. I don't know. It doesn't look like it was a marker. I have no idea. But it's a purple penny, that's for sure. 2022. Cool. I'll set that one aside. It's kind of neat. Let's see, I've got 2 rolls left. 82. And I'm finished with the first half. And I think I'm going to call it a night. It is about 3 minutes until 11. I'm still just at 3 wheat pennies. My copper is not outstanding. I had 1 roll, I only had 2. And that's no good. But hopefully the second half will be a little better than the first. I'm going to get through these 2 rolls. Hopefully I'll find 1 more wheat penny in those. Last roll in the first half. Now, folks, we had never heard of a dump closed on Thanksgiving before, so with tears in our eyes, we headed on down the road looking for a place to put our garbage. And on down the road was a 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff was another pile of garbage. And at the bottom, I'm getting it wrong, it's been a while, was another pile of garbage. And we decided that one big pile was better than two little ones. And rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down. And that's what we did. I love that. Later on, kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half ton of garbage. Just wanted to know if you had any information about it. Yes, sir, Officer Roby, I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope underneath that garbage. That's a famous Thanksgiving hearing. We like to listen to it on Thanksgiving. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right down, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. Well, I'm not finding very much, folks. A little bit of copper, but I say this a lot, but I don't think it's going to be £3 unless the second half really picks up, which it could. It could. Well, I think that's it for tonight, folks. Good night, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow night. Hey folks, I'm back. It is Sunday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. I got a little bit of time to go through a few rolls. This is actually the third roll I've gone through since I sat down, and I did come across another wheat penny. This is the first in the second half. This is the fourth wheat penny in the box. So far it hasn't proven to be the greatest box, 51D. But you know, I'll get a couple pounds of copper and maybe 5 or 6 wheat pennies. I don't know. This was at the end of this roll pretty much. I haven't gotten but like 4 or 5 per roll here these last few rolls of copper. Well, hey, the very, very next roll, and here's wheat penny number 5. I hope this becomes a trend. 5 wheat pennies there. This is crunch week for us. Our real estate lady had oh, that was a 2009, wasn't it? No, it's a 3. Oh well. Anyway, she had one of these professional stagers come in and told us how to do everything. We got to get rid of just about more than half of the stuff in the house has got to go in the next 3 days. And we got a storage unit to put some in. Some of it we'll take on over to the other house. And just try to make the house look so, you know. So I've got to stop here in a little bit and put all this stuff from my office into boxes to get it out of here. Oh, looky there. The same roll, 2 wheat pennies. That's cool. Number 6, what year we got? 1941. I do believe that's the second one of those we have found. This box. That's cool though. That's 6. I've got this sitting here. This is my sunglasses. When I went in and got my new glasses, they gave me these because they dilated my eyes. And so this is literally what I carry around with me when I'm traveling for sunglasses. Because I wear my glasses while I'm driving. Let me back up a little. And so I just hang these over the front of my glasses. And that's my sunglasses right there. I hardly ever use them. But if I'm traveling and it's one of those days where you're just driving into the sun, I'll stick those guys on. And that's what I use. Probably kind of pathetic, but I don't care. Hey, copper. This isn't really showing up like I'm seeing it with my naked eye. I wish. It's a different shade of bronze or brown than I'm used to seeing. I don't know, let me put it next to this one. Can you see a difference there? This is what you normally, once a penny has gone from its bright color, it goes to this color right here. And I found two or three of this box. It's this color, and I don't know. It's this is like the light brown M&M that you don't see anymore. That's at least that's how I picture it. But I don't know what causes that. But and I don't usually see them like this. But in this box, there've been two or three now, and I don't know that it means anything. I just I don't see this color hardly ever. I don't know why. I wonder why it's like that. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Not that it means a whole lot, I don't think. I've realized that I've left almost all my boxes over at the other house. My wife's, I can hear her in the other room running around doing stuff. And after I go through these, I was going to start tearing everything down in my office that's left and getting them out of here. And I don't even know if I may have to run over to the other house. That's a 70. And grab just to fill up the back of my vehicle with boxes because we don't have enough here. And we were just over there. We had lunch with my mom's today. My sister-in-law always makes cookies. These are kind of a chocolate with macadamia nuts in it. I grabbed a couple and brought them home. They're really good. You know things are getting serious when I throw these away and don't save them for my fire pit. I just came across my third Lincoln Memorial 2009 penny, and all three of them have been very nice, good looking coins, and they've all three been different designs so far, so that's a little bit neat. I'm still at 6 Wheatie. If I find one or two more, that makes it respectable, even if I don't quite get my 10. I've complained about coming across so many that are reverses, and I got to thinking about it. Wait a minute. I'm almost positive that one's zinc, but we'll weigh this one. I've weighted 10 of them, I guess, this box. Yeah. The couple of them I looked at, it's like, hey, you know, chances are slim, but I wasn't positive. There's another one. I was pretty positive on that one. But 82. If I get 8 wheat pennies and just under 3 pounds of copper, that's still that much more, that much closer to my goal as far as the copper is concerned. Anyway, I was saying, I was complaining one time about all the reverses that I come to, and I was like, what would be kind of cool? I'm just thinking out loud. If all of them that weren't copper was the shield, how much faster would I go? Because then if it wasn't copper, I'd just zoom, zoom, zoom. But that's not how life is. Sometimes you come across a real grimy one that you can't see the year, and you think, well, I guess I'll weigh that one. But before you weigh it, turn it over. Make sure it's not a shield. This one wasn't. There was one in the last row that was, and I threw it in the box over there. But I got to thinking, just turn it over, see if it's a shield. If it's a shield, you don't have to mess with it anymore. But this one, I weighed it because I couldn't tell. No, it wasn't this one. There's one like it. That one's a 97. Anyway. Oh, and when I come across an 83 that's real shiny, I usually weigh them because the real shiny ones, it's hard to tell, because a lot of times I'll come up to a really shiny one and it'll turn out to be a copper that I would have just assumed it was another zinc. So I usually weigh them, the really shiny ones, just to make sure. Well, there it is, number 7. Oh, my lighting, it won't. I got this clamp light and I'm on a different table than what I usually use, and it doesn't hold as well. This is a 1945. That is wheat penny number 7, and that's getting respectable there. I said I'll weigh the shiny 83s. If you happen to get lucky enough, which I probably never will, to find the copper 83, it'd be nice if it was one in really good condition. I think this is the very next roll, and there is weeding number 8. There's 9 rolls after this roll, so we're getting close to that 10. 51D. That's 8 wheat pennies. Not bad. If I get any orders after today on my business, I'm gonna be hard pressed to fill them because I'm moving everything. Uh, I won't have access to hardly anything. Tape guns and stuff up in boxes. It's going to be difficult for the next 3 or 4 days. I've got a storage unit. I'm going to take a lot of the little furniture pieces too, but I've got 82. I'm going to run all my office supply stuff over to the other house where I'm slowly going to start setting my office up. I still may have to grab some stuff and bring it back. My laptop will still be here for a few days, and my scales. Here is weeding number 9. 6 rolls to go. We might get that 10 after all. I just found out something. I just went and looked at my video boost, and it was not on. So apparently, whenever I turn my phone off, the video boost goes back to where it was. So I'll have to remember that. But that's weeding number 9. That's cool. So I was thinking about challenging vehicles, what all of you had to put up with. I've had of course, vice grips for changing my gear. I've had to do that. Had a car that didn't have a starter, so I had to park it strategically so that there'd be a downhill or at least a flat spot where we could push it and jump start it. I had one car that didn't have a seat, and I just had to use a milk crate. And it's extremely difficult driving if you don't have any type of back support. I had no idea. That was not easy driving. I remember a Happy Days episode where Richie Cunning bought a battery off a guy that the guy guaranteed him 19 starts, and he didn't get it, and he was all mad. 82. I guarantee him 19 starts. Another 82. See, I'm getting that look again. I don't understand it. Nah, I'm not going to weigh that one. It's got a hair glued on it or something. That's what it looks like. Well, I popped the next roll open and laid it down, and boom, right there. Second coin is weeding number 10. How about that? I wasn't expecting it. 1944D. So this time the second half has outdone the first half. I wonder if I'll get 3 pounds. I'm negative Nancy, I guess, because I kept thinking there's no way I'll get it. But the last box, I thought that, and I got it. So I guess I shouldn't say anything. Maybe I'll get it this time. 82. I'm so glad that most of the 82s are copper, because I sure do find a lot of them. Just 3 Canadians so far, too. Not very many. I'm really looking forward to setting up my next office. I'm hoping to get better lighting. And I'm hoping it'll be more fun and a better experience even for you guys. AT2. Look at that, folks. Weedy number 11. Boy, I never thought I'd get 10. And here's numero 11. 52D. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm just going through some more stuff here in the office, and I just came across a bunch of paperwork from when I first moved here. I took a position as a independent contract courier, and it was pretty cool. It paid pretty good. And I did it for, I guess, a little over a year. And it really helped a lot, because when we moved, we did not know we were moving here. We thought we was going to be moving much farther away from where we had lived in Indiana. And so the guy that I sell for, I said, I guess I'm just going to have to quit, and gave him all the stuff back. And then we get down here, and after I've been working this job for a year, I said, hey, would you be interested in us teaming back up? And he was really excited. He goes, absolutely. You have made a big difference, selling for me. And I said, well, you make a difference for me too. I said, our relationship apparently is very mutually great. And so I was really tickled to get started. Anyway, I was sitting there. I got rid of a bunch of this paperwork I came across from that courier position. And it reminded me, I was just all over the place. I learned a lot more stuff about this city that I grew up in that I didn't know before. When you're downtown Louisville, sometimes, if I might be down there the whole day, and finding places like if you've got to use a men's room, like where do you go? And I found some like I still think about it today, and me and my wife laugh about it. There's a building right across, right downtown on Market Street. And it's just a block from the 2nd Street Bridge. And I found out that on the 19th floor, they've got a public restroom. And I would frequently just pull up there to their little, turn my flashers on, run up there to the 19th floor. About 2 blocks down the street, there was another place that had a restroom on the 2nd floor. But after I'd been there about 6 months, they shut that one off. Surely it wasn't just because of me. I imagine they just had a lot of people floating in there, and they decided to make that just for the people of the building, so they put a lock on the door. But that 19th floor was still available. That was pretty fun. One roll to go, and I found my 4th Canadian. What year we got here? 1981. Those are the 3 different weights for the Canadian Copper Elizabeth, and this is the middle one. It's like 53 to 79. Then 80 and 81, they dropped the weight a little bit, and then 82 to 96 was the 12-sided, and they dropped the weight a little bit more. This is 81. The last row, folks, and I got weedy number 12. How about that? Just a few more to go through here, and then I'll be done. I'll weigh the 82s and pull out the copper ones, and then we'll weigh the copper and just see what there's another 82. See if we got the 3 pounds. I'd have said I don't think so at all, but I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Copper, the last one. I've got the 82s weighed and the copper ones I put in today's copper. I got my zinc pennies bagged up and ready to go back to the bank. Now is the time. We're going to weigh the copper and just see how close we got. That's close. I believe it's really close. Didn't quite get it. 2 pounds, 13 ounces. It's not horrible. I did get 12 wheat pennies, so I'll add this to my copper box. And I guess it's time to start grabbing up these boxes and taking them up to the other house. I got a whole bunch of pounds of this stuff to haul away. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. I guess I'll be picking up my 2 boxes of halves and my box of pennies while they're in my house taking pictures this Thursday.